Hello and welcome to the Modern Leader Way and what is going to be the season 3 finale with me, your host, Emma Clayton. So, welcome back. Thank you for being here for another season. I wanted to just recap on what we've done this season, some of the highlights, so that you can go revisit them or go catch up if you've skipped ahead or just joined us now. Let you know what I'm up to this summer and what's coming next, and also all the ways that you can kind of stay in touch, work with me over the summer, and yeah, all the things. So this will be a brief one, but thanks for being here as always. So I've loved this season because actually what I introduced with season 3 was some interviews. So I've had, or should we say, some conversations. I like to be in conversation with people, in case you hadn't guessed. I love sort of sharing my wisdom and stuff on the podcast, but I really do love and find it really easy just to be in conversation and connection with people. So I've loved having my guests on. I've had a couple of authors. So we've had Claire Yosa of the Ditching Imposter Syndrome. She was at the beginning of season 3. We've also had Tara Rule of Stop Apologizing. So a couple of authors in there. I have to say, we have a standout, most popular downloaded episode from this season, which was with Tracy Hall, who I used to work with, and it was her rewirement story. So she had almost double the downloads on that episode than the next most popular one, which was actually Kel Dupree's, who I also worked with at Swiss Re, and her episode was all about how her and her family just decided to follow the sun for a year and quit their jobs, sold their house, and moved across to France, actually from London, after a year traveling around the world. So go check those episodes out if you missed them, because there is a reason why they're particularly popular. Interestingly, I also started my YouTube channel this year because I was like, I'm interviewing these guys on not YouTube, on Zoom, and I've got these videos, so I might as well like make the most of that, because I'm very well aware that if you're here because you're a podcast listener, it's likely that you like listening to podcasts, or you like having someone, something in your ear as you go about your day, as you do your commute, whatever it is. But some people prefer to actually sit down and watch a video. So I've started my YouTube channel. If you haven't yet gone over there, followed us, subscribed, please do, because you never know when you just might want to just watch an episode rather than listen. You can find us under the Modern Leader Way with Emma Clayton. So you'll find the YouTube channel there. Go subscribe. You'll get the notifications every time there's a new download. Interestingly, it was a different standout in terms of views. So we're a new channel. We don't have a great deal of subscribers or views yet, but by far the most popular or the most viewed video was the episode that I did with Sarah Falstro, adjusting to a later diagnosis of ADHD in later life. So that was the most popular one there, which I thought was fascinating. Then we had our human design series. And if you haven't heard me talking about human design yet, have you been hiding under a rock or what? In all seriousness, like, I love human design. It's been part of my life for 4 years. And I describe it as kind of like um, a bit more of a deeper spiritual version of MBTI or Myers-Briggs or any of them personality profiling. Sorry, if you're watching me, I'm actually playing my hair because it looks terrible. I've just taken it down after I put it up wet this morning, so it does not look good. But hey, we'll roll with it because we're all about keeping it real here. But human design, I love. So this is like a system. It brings in a number of kind of ancient wisdoms as well as more modern sciences. So we've got a bit of astrology, we've got a bit of the Kabbalah and the I Ching from the ancient side of things. And then we use kind of like the chakra systems and stuff, planetary placements of astrology, all the things there. And it brings it together. And it's based on your birth data and tells us, or tells you, how you came here most effectively to operate, right? So if ever you feel like you're coming up against a brick wall, or you can't move forward, you're feeling fatigue or unenergized, and you want to be able to just optimize your energy a bit more, a bit better, and then like tap into some of like your natural gifts, and you want to understand a bit more about just what makes you tick so that you can articulate it. Human design is perfect for that. So Sue Jones Miranda and I did a episode around episode 50 or 51, I think it was, introducing the system that is human design, talking a little bit about how it is used, how we use it with our clients, how we've used it for ourselves. And we also did a bit of a sneak peek into what it looks like to run your own human design chart and then start to understand yourself through the lens of human design, through a bit of a celebrity feature that we did with Sue. So we featured Stephen Bartlett, Taylor Swift, Pink. And if you know from that conversation, I'm a bit of a Swiftie. Sue is a bit of a Pink fan. So yeah, that was quite fun to do. And then since then, I've featured a lot of my guests on the podcast with a little human design reading thereafter. So if that's piqued your interest, know that I have something that is called the HD Initiation, Human Design HD Initiation, which is a free, downloadable, accessible course. You can basically get it on sign up. If you go to emmaclaytonxo.com, you'll see Human Design across the top, and that's where you'll get to sign up just with your email to the HD Initiation. And that's just going to take you through a really quick course. It's about an hour in total, I think, just me on video talking you through how to run your chart, how to start to understand and read the information that it's giving you in your chart, and how to start to understand a little bit more about your energetic aura, your inner authority making tool, you know, how you came here to make decisions, as well as like a bit of a clue as to whether or not you're on track to have success and to have that real feel good in your life, or like what the red flags are to tell you that perhaps you're a little bit off course. So we started to introduce you to human design through the HD Initiation. So it's a really lovely course that I created because I wish someone had done this for me when I first came across human design 4 years ago. I have spent an awful lot of money, right, on readings. I think my first human design reading was like $350. I've got all the books. I have signed up for courses. I have worked with mentors to align my business to my human design. So I've invested quite a lot in my own journey. And it was about a year ago that I was really keen to really understand from my clients' perspective who they are through the lens of human design, so that I can bring that into our one-to-one conversations, but also like my friends and my family, understand my partner more. You can even look at your dog and what their human design is. So I actually started on my journey to become a certified human design reader. So yeah, if you get the HD Initiation, you're going to get, you know, a condensed version of how to really understand your chart in less time than it took me, and certainly less money because it's free. I'm actually developing what I'm calling the HD navigation, which is like the next phase. That will be like there will be an investment for that, but I'm going to keep it relatively low cost, quite accessible for everyone that wants to dive further in. And this is like really, once you've got understood that kind of foundation, I can't get my words out. Once you've understood the foundational properties of your chart, how do you then navigate your chart? How do you look at your chart and understand what it's telling you? Because this really did take me to go through that course where I learned how to be a reader, for me to really get it and for that to slot in place, even for me, my own chart, after 4 years of looking at it. So that's going to tell you a little bit more about what the centers are, what it means if it's defined or undefined, so if it's colored in or if it's white, what the gates mean. These are your gifts. Like, these are, if you can understand the gifts that you have consistent access through the centers and the gates, this is really great because you can tap into that a lot more, a lot easier, a lot quicker. And it's really been a game changer for me and my clients that have actually embraced this. And it's also going to tell you how to start to look at your incarnation cross, which is like 70% of your essence. This is what you're here to like to do and learn and work through in life. So you can really start to make sense of perhaps some of the things you've come up across, some of the lessons that you've been learning in life, some of the challenges that you keep hitting up against. It all starts to make sense through that lens of human design. So the HD navigation is something I am building out through July. So if you're listening later on down the line, that should be available to you. So again, if you go to emmaclaytonxo.com, I would definitely recommend you dive into the HD initiation first. If you're brand new to human design, that's the place to start. If you're perhaps you've ran your chart, you've kind of understood that foundational properties, and you're not really sure what to do with this chart next, but you're curious, that's when the HD navigation will be perfect for you. And if you can't be bothered to do any of that, and you're actually a little bit lazy like me, you can book in for a reading. That's not a problem. So there's the Essence of You are 30-minute audios that you get where I dive into your chart and tell you exactly what's in there and what it says about how you came here to operate most effectively in your life, in work, in relationships, all the things. All right. So that's human design. And that's what I'll be up to in terms of like creating for you over the next few weeks as we take a break for the summer. So school's out almost, I think another week for most schools to be out for summer. I hope you have some amazing plans. I've had my holiday. Adam and I went to the Lake District with the dog in the van, which was absolutely blissful. We had the most beautiful weather at the first half. Then it returned to Lake District weather for the second half. So we do plan to get out in the van over the summer, but really we're kind of like prefer to miss the crowds. So we probably wait. We've got another weekend away in September where we're going down to the South Coast while he does the South Downs Ultra, I think, some crazy ultra event that he's doing with his mate. So yeah, lots of visits to the beach when the sun hopefully comes out and makes an appearance. It's raining right now, but hey ho, such is the British summer. So I have busy summers because the last few years I've not only run my Airbnb, which obviously is peak season through the summer, especially at weekends, but I have my friend's food truck out at the weekends. We go up the local campsite, we go to some events, some festivals over the weekend. It's just something I love doing. It's with my best friend. So like we have fun. It's hard work. It's physical. It's you know, it's not glamorous at all, but we love it. And you're outside and there's lots of people around and generally people are in good vibes and we just bring the goods, feed them and they leave happy. So yeah, the food truck, I'll be out with a food truck most weekends now through the rest of the summer. So I wanted to give myself some space, to create this human design navigation, but also to like really just have some fun and play with my business in terms of like how I'm showing up, what I'm sharing, like go back over the podcast episodes from right back from the beginning really and just pull out some of that gold so I can start sharing a little bit more consistently, keep that energy of the podcast alive whilst we take a break. So it's not like you hear nothing and then it's bang, we're back in September, which we will be back with a bang. And I'll reveal more about that on my social media. So make sure you're following me if you're not already over on Instagram. I'm emmaclayton.xo. Or I'm on LinkedIn, which is emmaclayton.coach, I think it is. So make sure we're connected in one place or another. I'm also on Facebook. Again, find me on YouTube and let's stay in touch so that you can hear about it. Also, if you're not already downloaded the HD initiation, when you do, you get on my email list. So I'll be emailing my list over the summer, keeping them up to speed with what's going on. I'm also got a big focus on my health, like just getting back into some sort of routine with regards to my health. So now my knees are in a better position, like they're feeling like they could do more, like my legs want some more strength in them. I have been fighting a bit of fatigue myself, right? So I'm going back to my human design and looking at where am I out of alignment in terms of like how I came here to operate and how can I really focus on putting some of those practices back into place. And one of the ways obviously that we get to support our energy levels is through good nutrition, good sleep, good movement. And so I'm really just bringing that back into focus. Gemma Kelly, who was on the podcast recently, she's running a You versus You challenge from mid-July to mid-August for 30 days. I think it's like 20 quid to jump in if you wanted to join us. Go check her out. I know she's on Instagram. I think she's Gemma Kelly Fitness. And join us in that. So that's just bringing back some focus on getting that consistency in there. I know Adam, my partner, has just discovered ultra running. He's very fit, very able, and he's really enjoying sort of doing a bit more of that trail running, just being outdoors, finding a new group of people that are on his wavelength, his sort of age, and all the things. So he wants to do some strength training. We've got a little gym downstairs with a load of CrossFit equipment, since I used to be a CrossFitter back in the day. Haven't done it for a while, but so for me, I really want to get back under the bar, because that's where I feel strong and I feel like my body can move and has agility and mobility and all the things. So really for me, focus on upping my energy levels through that focus on fitness and movement. And then I'm also hosting a few international guests this year. So this week, actually, I've got my good friend Megan and her daughter Olivia over from South Africa. So we've got lots of chill time together, chill quality time together. But we are looking to go camping one night. We're going to go and explore the North Kent beaches, the sandy beaches around Joss Bay, Kingsgate Bay, Botany Bay, all that kind of area in Thanet, and a couple of other things. So we're just like basically bonding over good food and just quality time together. I've got my auntie who's visiting from Australia for a few days, and I've got my friend over from Spain. She's coming to stay with another friend. We're going to go up Dover Castle and round to Folkestone Harbour Arm. Hopefully have some nice weather to do that. So yeah, being like, just summer is such a time to be more sociable, more active, more outdoors, like really kind of nourishing the self whilst the weather is fairer, and or you would hope. And yeah, just preparing for those autumn months to come, right? So making the most of it. So with that in mind, ways to stay in touch with me over the summer. I have offered for July a number of free career consults. So these are just 30 minutes where we jump on the phone and we thrash out whatever it is that you've got going on. So if you're struggling with something at work at the moment, maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a team member, maybe it's a boss, or a project you're working on that can't seem to get off the ground or can't seem to get people's buy-in with. Maybe it is you just like really don't know what you want to do with your career. You're at a bit of a stalemate. You've done this job for however long. You don't know what to do next, and you want a bit of inspiration. You can use it for that. Anything goes, really. So I've had a conversation with someone already about how she's got a change in boss, a change in line manager, plus she's going on maternity leave. So she's quite concerned about how she leaves it. And we've had a really good conversation about the conversation she gets to have now before she goes off with her new line manager, just to put a few things in place and get clear on where she stands before she goes off. So that was really good, and I know she felt amazing after that conversation. And then I also had a conversation with another lady who has just recently been made redundant, and she's like, I really don't know what I'm going to do. And we talked about like a bit of a short-term plan for her to find some work, whether it's part-time, whether it's contract work, but ultimately it doesn't matter too much in the short term if she can put some time aside to actually really look at what it is she really wants to be doing. So she knows she wants to have her own consultancy business, and we talked about how I could help her like explore that in a bit more detail. So these were 30-minute free consults anything goes, bring anything. I've got a few left, so if you want one, if you want to snag one, did you know you can send me a text message from the show notes of this episode? So if you want to do that, you can do that, or find me on Instagram. That's probably the best place to find me. Or you can email me, Emma at modernleadher.co.uk. So that's ways you can get in touch with me. And I'm thinking about making it into like a monthly drop-in, like career consult drop-in. So you know that I'm going to be online at a certain time on a certain day, and you can just come in, drop in, bring anything. There'll be other people on there, and when you get to your turn, you get to share and get to just really thrash it out together. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is what I seem to have conversations about all day, every day, wherever I seem to go, whether it's I'm at the pub and I'm having a conversation with someone, or I'm on the food truck and I'm, getting into conversation with the staff there, or whatever it is, or even some punters, whether it's my guests, like wherever I go, friends, groups, online conversations I have, I end up getting into these conversations where I talk about careers and what it is that you're doing, how to move through some challenges, how to handle certain situations. It's just what I end up doing because it's what I'm good at. It's me and my element. So take advantage of one of those if you want to, especially if you've got like a sticky situation at the moment and you want some external, independent, non-judgmental advice and mentoring, then I'm your girl. Get in there. And then if you know that you're at that kind of pivotal moment where something's got to change, right? Perhaps you're like just at this crossroads where you're unhappy, you're not happy where you are doing what you're doing any longer, but you don't know what you want to do next. Or maybe you've been put at risk of redundancy, or maybe you've taken redundancy recently and you're still in that, I don't know what I want to do next kind of place, or you're thinking about taking early retirement, or even you're thinking about potentially setting up your own business, right? Any of those scenarios, the perfect offer I have for you is Game Plan. If you've not heard me talking about Game Plan before, this is a 90-minute conversation where we really get into the crux of what it is that you came here to do. I can bring human design into it if you wanted to, don't have to, but I can do if we want to look at it through that lens as well. But ultimately, this is where you get to really just get everything off your chest so that you can really get clear in your mind what it is that you want to do next. And we come up with a game plan together. Now, these have been super fun to do. I've had conversations where someone's come to me and said, game plan for what I do next with this opportunity that I'm faced with, right? So someone has come out of the blue and offered me a job, but I'm actually quite happy in my current job. So what do I do? And we literally talked it out. I asked lots of questions, gave her lots of things to talk about, and ultimately she stayed where she was. I had another lady who had a similar situation. Actually, she was approached by her line manager who confided in her that he was moving on and he wanted her to step up and go for his role as his successor. And she was like, I wanted this promotion for many, many years, and now I'm not actually sure that that's the right promotion for me. So we really looked at what was it she really wanted from life, right? What ultimately was important to her. And she got to an amazing conclusion that actually she did want the promotion, but not in this role. She wanted to move into a specific department, and that's where she ended up. So that was a really cool game plan there. And the other one that I had was with Tracy, who talked about this in her Rewirement story in one of the episodes, Tracy Hall. She came to me when she was nearing the age of 55, thinking about early retirement. She'd done all the maths. She knew financially she could do it, but she just didn't know what else she would do. Like, what would I do if I'm not doing this work? And as you would have heard her in that episode, we went into the pros and the cons. We really felt into like, how are you going to feel if you stay? And then how are you going to feel if you leave? And what are you going to do with your life? And she's actually totally like reinvented herself in retirement, early retirement, which she calls rewirement. Another one that springs to mind is Lauren. Lauren and I had a game plan session. She was in business and she was just feeling a little bit like she was wandering a bit aimlessly. She didn't really know what to do next. And, you know, we sat, I listened, I really understood what she'd done so far and what she wanted to achieve. And we came up with a game plan for how she could move forward with a real focus on the next 3 to 6 months. And she told me a year later that she was still referring back to that game plan that she came away with. So game plan is super powerful. That's available also on my website, and I'll make sure all the links to these are in the show notes below this episode. But you can go to emmaclayton.xo, no, emmaclaytonxo.com and get the link for a game plan session with me. You also, not only do you get that 90 minutes, but you also get 5 days follow-up, which just means it gives you that opportunity to reflect, sleep on the conversation that we've just had, ask any further follow-up questions, and deal with, you know, that fear that starts to creep in. As you go to take action on your decision or go to make a final decision, all the fears that come up, we get to thrash that out in the WhatsApp. So you've got access to me for the next 5 days after that, included in the game plan. And then I'm bringing in a new offer, and you're going to hear about it here first. I haven't spoken about this on the front lines yet, but I will be soon. This is something I'm super excited about, right? So this is a way to work with me that will, I'm going to call it game changer, right? Because that's the words that I keep using when I describe it. So you know me, I love the outdoors, I love nature, I love my camper van, and I love the deep connections that I have with my one-to-one clients, which is why I do a lot of one-to-one work. And I love the game plan discussions. I love having the career consults. This is the sort of thing I do day in, day out, and would do all day if I could. And what I really love is spending time with someone, like real quality time with someone, to really get underneath the surface of what it is that's going on for you and what it is that you want from your life, and how it is that we get you on path and on purpose. And so I want to offer a VIP day of sorts, if you like, let's just call it that, where you get to take the day out of the office, you get to come and spend it with me in person. So this is a local offer, although I do have a way to translate that into an online offer if you're not in the UK or you're too far away. But basically you'll come to Kent, I'll pick you up somewhere that is like the train station or whatever that's most convenient for you, and we'll spend the day together in the van, at the beach, or in the forest, out with our feet on the ground. We are going to like dive into your human design. We're going to really understand who you are, who you came here to be, what you came here to do, and how you came here to do it, so that we can get like uber focused on what it is that you come here to do, and like how you'll come up with your game plan. But it'll be having spent the whole day together, like really going into the nitty gritty. We can like do some quick wins in terms of things you can go away and do quickly and really feel the impact of those. And then there'll be that longer term game plan as well. And yeah, it's going to be really aligned with who you came here to be and what you came here to do. So I'm super excited about that. And if you're interested, message me Game Changer on Instagram, or email me, or send me a text message in the show notes below. That one I'm super excited about, because it's like, who doesn't want to get out of the office for the day and spend a day in nature, coming back to your own natural nature and coming away with like a game-changing game plan for moving forward. So this is where you know there's big change to be made, and you know you want to get in alignment with what you came here to do. You don't want to waste any more time anymore in terms of like just doing the run-of-the-mill day job. You know that there's more out there for you, and you just want help to find what that is. That's Game Changer. And then finally, as I'm on to all the ways you can work with me, I do have a one-to-one package, which is for when you're in transition, right? When you're actually transitioning from one job to another, from one country to another, from being employed to self-employed, from being employed to being made redundant and thinking about what next, from retiring, whatever that transition is that you're going through. I have one-to-one container that gets to hold you in a way that you really want to be held. So that is to work through all the stuff that comes up as you go through this big change, right? It allows you to put your best foot forward as you step into that transition, And it's all the one-to-one support. It's me in your back pocket. It's regular one-to-one calls. And we can also incorporate a game changer day in there as well, if that's what you want to do. So there are some of the ways you can work with me between now and when I'm back in the summer, in September, sorry. I think that's all I wanted to share today. I said I was going to keep it sweet, short and sweet, but I think I've gone on a little bit. But hopefully it's all good stuff. And if you want any more information about anything, you know where I am, hit me up. There is no like hard sell or pressure from me if you reach out for some information about anything. I trust that when you know it's the right time, you'll know to come to me if I'm the right person for you, and I'll be here, right? I'll be here waiting. So with that in mind, season 3 is a wrap. Keep in touch. Have the best summer. Enjoy your holidays if you're going away. Enjoy some time off with kids if that's what you're doing. And enjoy a quieter office if you're like me and decide to stay at work and chug away when everyone else is off on holiday. I thank you again for being here. It is never lost on me that you spend your time tuning into the show week after week. I see you, and I appreciate you, and I love you, and I will see you back here in September. There is more to come. This is not the end. This is just the beginning, and I love being on this beautiful journey with you. So thanks again for being here. Take care. Mwah.